It's the Open Bedroom Doors Show.
I'm Angela Skirtu, and I open bedroom doors. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. I'm your host, Angela Skirtu, your friendly neighborhood sex therapist and licensed marriage therapist. And yes, talking about sex is literally my job. I started this show because, let's be real, most of us didn't get sex education. We're out here fumbling through love, intimacy, and awkward bedroom moments with zero guidance and a lot of shame. Time to fix that. Here's what you can expect every episode. Sex positions. We start off hot by judging something wild, weird, or just plain wrong in the media or culture. You'll laugh, you'll cringe, you might even learn something. Next, we move to guest interviews. I chat with fascinating folks, sexperts, storytellers, and everyday humans with juicy stories and powerful insights. And then, of course, we have to have a happy ending. Yep, we finish strong. I answer real questions from real people about sex, relationships, and all the stuff you're too afraid to ask your therapist or anyone else for that matter. But I'm here, so ask away. If you're ready to laugh, learn, and finally talk about the stuff no one ever taught us, hit play. Let's open that bedroom door, shall we? Love after baby. I want to talk to you about right after you have that kid. And I know the doctors told you you're not supposed to have sex, but you still want to stay close to your partner. Welcome to Sex Positions. This is the Open Bedroom Door Show. And on this segment, what I like to do is judge things as a sex therapist that are happening in media and society that are related to sex. And I'm your resident sex therapist. Hey! Back when I was pregnant, I had watched so many couples struggle after having baby, and that struggle continued after it, that I knew right away I had to make a decision in my marriage to make sure that I took time away from my baby, which, by the way, was hard. I genuinely care about my kiddo. She's 10 now, but I remember being in that space of I've been her everything. She literally was inside me. I remember eating so much kale while I was pregnant. Every day I was like, this food is going to my child as we speak. And so, you know what? That mindset trailed into being a new mom. And I really struggled with taking time for myself, but I knew from watching all of these couples that if I didn't learn how to take one, time for myself, and two, time for us as a couple, that it was gonna really hurt my marriage. So the first time I took time away from my kid, it was an overnighter and I had my sister watch her, but I remember I was I could barely leave without thinking about her, worrying about her, wondering what's she gonna be like, what do I do? So me and my sister actually came up with a really cool way to practice working through that mommy guilt. And it looked like I would text her and I'd say, is she happy? In my worried state. And my sister would send me a picture of my daughter and say, she's doing just fine. And that's how it started. It was my anxiety because I just felt so terrible leaving her with my sister. But then over time, it was funny. My sister would head me off at the curb. And so instead of me having to ask, is she happy? My sister would send me a picture within the first 30 minutes and say, she's happy, Angela, she's okay. And that was just what I needed to kind of take time and remember I've got cool people in my life who are supporting me and who and my daughter's getting special auntie daughter or auntie niece time. And so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want you to find little things like that help you reduce your mommy guilt so you can take time for your partner, because it does impact your relationship if you don't. And I want you to have a good, not only sex life, but I want you to have a good love life and relationship. If you want a bed, guess what? We are filming our sex positions here at Mattress Dogs. This is a mattress furniture store, and I am thankful for Mattress Dogs for letting me do my sex positions event in bed. Use promo code SEXYTIME and you can get your next bed here tax-free. We're always looking for sponsors. So if you would like to become a sponsor for the show or for the sex position segment, please go to openbedroomdoors.com and check out our sponsorship page. And we will, if you become one of our sponsors, we'll even let you pick the position. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Door Show. I'm Angela Skirtu. I'm a licensed marriage therapist and certified sex therapist. And today I have with me Addie and Eddie. You are a couple. They're married. They've been together for 15 years and they just had a baby boy. What's his name?
Soul.
So they just had a baby boy, Soul. And the reason I invited Addie and Eddie on the show is that we talk about intimacy in all walks of life and all ages. And one thing I don't think we're talking enough about is what happens right after baby is born. So how old is baby Soul?
Little over 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think 19 days.
19 days, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure people like hearing stories. So I'm curious, like, what was, are you interested or open to sharing a little bit of the story of Soul, of how Soul came to be?
Yeah.
I go for it.
I think it's he's like, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah. You got
I've
this.
done all the work so far.
I mean, moms.
Yeah, we've been wanting a baby for a while. We've been, kind of ready for the parenthood phase, and I feel like it looks a lot different than I thought it was going to. But I feel like we've been kind of flexible, and
In what way does it look different?
it's gone like more smoothly than I thought, and it's also like I'm so much more tired than I thought. I don't know. They say you're gonna be exhausted, and I think that's fair, but I think that we've been like balancing it really well. So I just from like coming home from the hospital, like I feel like we've worked really well together and just kind of like learned how to take care of a whole new human. Like they just kind of like send you home and they're like, all right.
So Eddie, I want to bring you in on this. So
Yeah.
what would you say has been your role in this? Because I think we always talk about the mom's role, but I really want to talk about dad's role too.
I've been there, been there the whole time. I've still been off work. So like making sure that there's always food around the house. I love to cook. This is kind of giving me an opportunity to always have meals ready. Try and hold my baby like whenever I can. And then just also trying to take on some of the responsibility of like we've done a couple of night feedings to try and extend some of Addie's sleep windows, and I generally just have fun with them. Like it's really awesome just like having a baby and just like, oh, like I can see me in you, and he's definitely less terrifying than I was expecting a baby to be. Little human that can't hold their own head up sounded way more terrifying than it actually is.
Yeah, we were talking, so Addie and Eddie are my friends too. So we were hanging out last night. We were talking about these horror stories, right? Like that, I feel like that we almost scare new parents, like, you're never going to sleep again. Your lives are going to be, you're never going to have sex again either, by the way. I'm curious, like, what stories were you two told about like what it's going to be being new parents?
I feel like people want to tell you the scary things. Like they're just so excited, like especially birth and labor and postpartum. Like even if it's true, like birth sucks. Like I mean, like it's still like, man, give me something heartwarming to go off of. Yeah, and a lot of like no sleep, and they're gonna be colicky, or they're gonna be this or this or this, and I would even tell people like, oh, sorry, I don't have the space to listen to negative stories right now. Like, what positive stories do you have to tell me about birth? And they'd like, that kind of shuts people down a little bit. Sometimes it's like, I cannot process so many negative things. Like, you're already overwhelmed. So like, I don't know. Tell me a fun story. Like, I'd love to hear that.
That's interesting. So you felt inundated with like trauma stories. Did you hear a lot of bad stories too?
I feel like I definitely got less of the bad stories, but like it was like, especially from people who are dads, I would get the constant like, oh, you're never gonna sleep again, like, or just kind of the expectation that I was always going to be covered in like spit up and diaper blowouts and never sleeping.
I mean, for the record, you got the diaper blowout first.
I did get the first diaper blowout.
So you're just gonna be covered from head to toe with spittle, poo.
And it just doesn't happen as much as like everybody seems to want to tell me it would, and it's also not nearly as bad when it happens. Like, it's your own baby. Like, it's way less gross when it happens than like to think about it before you actually have your own.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying there's a different feeling because it's like, this is my baby and I'm taking care of it. It's fine.
Yeah, but like okay, like you drink your bottle a little fast. Like, that was probably my fault for not throttling you back a little bit. Like, this is what I get. I got a new shirt. So
I gotcha. Okay, all right. Well, it's interesting. I guess I didn't realize how many people were like inundating you two with just horror stories. Mm-hmm. So now you have the baby, and what's it like? What's it like being new parents?
Well, I mean, this is our first time like leaving him alone. He's with his grandma right now.
Oh, are you guys okay?
You're doing great. Like, I'm totally fine.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I should really thank you two for being here. This is your first time leaving your child.
And I didn't text my mom when we got here. I thought about it, but I didn't because they're fine. Everything's
it's
fine.
Going to be okay. They're
great.
Fine. The baby's fine. So right now, as they're being interviewed, you're coaching yourself like, it's going to be okay.
Very much so.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing
honored.
that. I feel very honored. Mm-hmm. But so it's your first time. We should talk about that. Okay, first of all, when people become new parents, these are those milestones that we hit where it's like, okay, the first time you leave baby home with another person, can I go? Can I do my own thing? Is this okay? Depending on whatever anxiety you bring to that table. That can be easier or harder. Mm-hmm. So how is it going for the two of you to be doing that milestone?
I feel like it's not bad. Like, I feel like I've been prepping myself, and I am one that runs on the anxious side. But like, even before baby, like, that's something I wanted, was not to feel like I had to have so much control. Like, I don't have to be the one to soothe him every time. And sometimes that's hard because I want to just be like, give me my crying baby. Like, if it's, even if it's Eddie or my mom or somebody, like, I have, like, let some of that go, just on, like, he can be comforted by other people. And
how come? What? So you said you wanted that. What made you think that was an important thing to do?
Well, I just know that I, like, can lean towards, like, just doing everything myself because it's easier than explaining things to people. And I didn't want to harbor that anxiety all to myself, and I just wanted other people to get comfortable with the baby. But I knew that, like, I could very easily be like, oh no, this is fine, I got it. But
I gotcha. So you knowing you're kind of a little bit control everything, manage everything, you were challenging yourself in being a mom to like allow others to be a part of the caretaking.
And just kind of let myself relax a little bit, and I feel like that's helped. And that, like, even today I was like, I know you know how to take care of him. Like, you're good. You've got this. I'm not even going to go through everything one more time like I want to, because you're fine. Like, just give him a kiss and run. Like, just get out the door.
Rip that Band-Aid off right now.
We're doing it.
What about you? What's it feel like being a new parent?
Just great so far, really.
He gets a big smile. You can see him. It's
know. It's like making me tear up. Like,
continue. Tell us what's great about it.
I kind of hard to like haven't really thought about it like in a very specific way yet, but I don't know, just I don't know.
One thing I think is really cool, like, just to kind of answer for you, but is just how more relaxed you are than, like, I know you said that you were talking about, like, having more anxiety about the baby, but like when he's crying, when Soul's crying, or Eddie, I don't know.
When Eddie's crying.
When Eddie's
They're crying together.
Everybody's
crying
fest. We're still fresh, but no, when Soul's crying, and just like watching Eddie like not be scared of it, and he'll just like whoosh him around and get him all excited, and Soul's just enamored and just loves his dad. It's fun to watch them just like bond and figure it out together. And He's not scared by a screaming baby.
Yeah, he's been super like easygoing, especially compared to all the stories we got. That like I was expecting it to be a lot more like high stress, but really like I can put him on my chest and like have him take a nap while we're just like chilling on the couch, and it's like it's pretty great. It's
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things, I'm the Open Bedroom Door Show, so I want to talk about intimacy and how couples can stay connected to each other. So what most of you, I hope, know is that right after baby, I just had a pelvic floor physical therapy on before you, and she was talking about how this is the black box right here. This is the medical black box. So basically, this is off limits for new moms for a time because you literally are healing. So if you don't know this, you need a really good period of healing. Lots of things change. But I don't see this as the only part of intimacy as a sex therapist. I think our whole bodies and our minds and our hearts are capable of intimacy. And so I'm curious what you two are doing to create intimacy in this time when the black box is closed. Which, it's not a black box, it's just a vagina. But I think it's dramatic and fun.
Does feel like it. A black void. Yeah, that's something we even talked about before the baby, because like we are very connected. Like it's been Eddie and I for 15 years, and we like that. We're even a little bit on the codependent side. Like
it's fine.
It works for us. So we talked about that a lot, like trying to make sure that we keep intimacy and that connection. One thing I noticed the other day, like we're very cuddly people, like we'll like cuddle to go to bed, cuddle to wake up, if I'm not working or whatever. But I was like very grumpy like the other day because like we hadn't cuddled, like we'd been going to bed in shifts for the last little while, and like couldn't figure out what my mood was. I'm like, I need to touch you. Like I just need like somebody put the baby down. Like I need a hug. Like so I feel like we've gone through like phases on like being able to cuddle and consistently, but there was one day that I was just like craving that so much and just like had to stop and recognize that, be like, I need a hug. But I feel like trying to just be mindful of like that connection and like, I don't know, even just like casual, just like touching and connecting and things throughout the day. Like you don't always have to have a baby. You can set him down when he's settled and just kind of have the like one-on-one, even just like just normal conversation. We were like cooking the other day and had the baby in the bassinet, and it was just like cooking and talking next to each other, which is, we love cooking together. And so like having that like moment of normalcy to be like, oh, like I feel more connected. Like I feel like that helped a lot.
So Eddie, I want to go into the issue that all men have when they're new dads, which is, how do I manage trying to create intimacy with my partner while also not pushing her when she's in this new mom territory? So I'm curious how you're figuring that out.
I feel like a lot of it has just been like balancing like the available time, and we've been like we've maintained, I'd say, a pretty high level of intimacy. Like we still flirt with each other a lot. We still cuddle, but so there really hasn't even been like time or opportunity to really try and be pushy about anything, or to try and like but like the whole time it has been like a conscious effort of like, no, we're not gonna, like, we really don't want this aspect of us to suffer. So we do try and make that time of like like going to bed together, because like we had started doing a little bit of like going to bed in shifts to try and maximize sleep time. But I think we both kind of found like, just laying down together and like having that initial cuddle to sleep was like, having that was worth the couple less hours of sleep that we might get otherwise, just to have those times together. And like it feels like like we've been together for 15 years now, and like I'd say our intimacy level is higher than it like this isn't even like a low point for us, or anything, because we've still been like, I still feel like she's my best friend. We still joke and talk all the time. So like,
Sweet. She's looking at you all smiley and lovey.
I've been crying this whole episode. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm like, no, but that I want to point it out, because for people watching, it's like, that's love that's happening between. So this is what love looks like. All right. Well, thank you, Addie and Eddie, for being on this show. Are you ready to take your sex life beyond the bedroom? You want to spice things up and have a little fun? Come join me for my couples retreats. We are taking Open Bedroom Doors to exotic locations and introducing you to fun, sexy new ways to intimately connect with your partner. In a beautiful location, surrounded with serenity, warmth, connection, that beachy vibe. This retreat is your opportunity to say, nope, I'm leaving the kids and work at home, and we're gonna go to a place where we focus on us. We slow down, we get into our sensory experience, and I just want you to ignite your sex life and learn how to really take your sex life from 0 to 100. I'm Angela Skirtu at openbedroomdoors.com, and I hope to see you at my next retreat. Join me for my next couples retreat on October 24th through 26th at Camden on the Lake Resort. I hope to see you there. That's too spicy. Well, guys, on the Open Bedroom Doors show, we often have content that's a little too spicy for your typical social media platforms. So for those of you who are like, I love everything Angela Skirtu and I want to know all the spicy details, we actually have a space where we put the uncut shows, and it is at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. So you can subscribe to that channel and get all the behind the scenes, all that spicy stuff that I wasn't able to put in the show. That's too spicy. So I hope you can join me at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. Keep in mind, that is how you support me. So it is a subscription channel where you have to pay to subscribe, but you are becoming a supporter of me and putting out this awesome content as a result. So please join me for those spicy, spicy things. So on every show, I like to answer one question from an audience member, and I do keep my BDSM bears with me. This is Barry Bonds, this is Consent Cub, and they're here to keep us safe and just be present partners. So my question for today, how can we communicate our sexual needs and desires to each other without fear of judgment or rejection, especially our preferences or comfort levels evolve over time, and some level of resentment seems to eventually become a factor? Well, that was a very long question. Thank you, audience member. I think I'm answering like 3 questions here. So first, how do we communicate our sexual needs and desires without fear of judgment or rejection? There's a lot to that. First, it helps to cultivate a relationship where there's safety to ask and answer questions and like put things out there. So to start creating comfort, I really think you need to create like a non-judgmental atmosphere where it's okay to talk about sex and like bring up new ideas. One way to do that is actually to say, we can bring up anything. That doesn't mean we're going to do everything that we bring up. Like, it's okay for us to talk about things, but not know exactly what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. Because I think when there's pressure to like perform whatever's brought up, that's when more judgment's going to happen. When people are going to be like, I don't know about that, or I don't like that. And so if you can create a safe environment to just bring stuff up and talk and connect, then it becomes easier to bring up ideas. Now, the key, this goes into the rejection piece of that question. You do need to be open to rejection. Not every idea you bring up is going to work out. And not every rejection is a forever rejection. Sometimes people need to sit and simmer on ideas before they're ready to try it out. And so I think I actually write about this in my book. From F no to F yes sex. But in the book, I talk about like playing in the maybe space. So like take some time to consider stuff before you say a full yes or a full no. Take some time to research it. Take some time to explore it. if you create a cultural environment in your relationship where one, it's safe to bring stuff up, and two, you're allowed to simmer and think about stuff before you do it, or you're also allowed to say no at any point and just say, no, it's not for me, then it becomes easier to bring up things, evolve, and prevent that resentment that was talked about in the later question. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. If you laughed, learned, or blushed a little, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs a little more real talk in their life. Got a burning question about sex, love, or relationships? Check out openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. Your question might just be featured in a future Happy Ending segment. Until next time, keep it honest, keep it sexy, and most of all, keep those bedroom doors open. Good night and have a sexy tomorrow.